G Norm, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the episode 3 of the Normal Talk Show. We are showing off the Normal Dev team. Joining us, the CTO, Jay Malve, and our full stack engineer, Niko Gorjan. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for those of you listening for the first time, Normal is an on-chain investment app built on Stellar. And none of this would be possible without these amazing three developers here. Our CEO, Joshua Blue, co-hosting with me, Jay Malve, and Niko Gorjan. Thank you guys so much. It's been a very great start to 2026. We just launched our protocol and we are wrapping up our bridge round. It's been an amazing time. A lot of updates each week. Josh, do you want to talk about the recent updates we've had on the technical side?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had really just insane demand for trading volume come to our platform, so much so that we've had growing pains in being able to satisfy all the liquidity and trading that people want. So we've been taking some time to really redesign how our capital efficiency around liquidity works, both to support retail traders and different institutions. We've also revamped a ton of different security features on our web application that will also carry over to our mobile app as well, which will be coming out probably in the next 2 to 3 months. Beyond that, we've really just been talking closely with our users, our power users, big and small, and really getting to know them as best as we can and implementing kind of quality of life user experience fixes that make the authentication, trading, and overall crypto investing experience normal for them as well.
Yeah, with making crypto more and more normal day by day, we're providing a lot of value, and we're super excited to invite our new board members, our investors, advisors, at the close of this month. Josh and I have a very exciting announcement very soon from the whole Normal team that we're closing some lead investments and having some amazing follow-up investors and amazing angels and founders join the Normal mission. So we are flying out to Silicon Valley next week to meet with some investors to our hometown at Draper University. We're super excited to be in San Francisco, and we're super excited that Jay Malve, our amazing CTO, is meeting us out there to celebrate with some fun activities. And I think that's a perfect time to kind of introduce Jay, our amazing CTO. Hey Jay, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Glad to be a part of this team.
Yeah, so a little intro of how we met Jay, the amazing crypto culture and ecosystem. We are actually going to ETH Denver last year. I think it was around March this time.
Mhm.
Same time right now. ETH Denver is going on. Hope you guys all have a fun time there. Jay went to one of our side events. We were hosting like a DJ party. You know, the DJ himself, Joshua Blue over there, best CEO. And Jay came because he had a connection with our head of marketer, Amit, and they were both in the Zoe house. And Jay comes to the party with so much enthusiasm and positivity. He really had so much aura, to put it simple. And you know, he introduced himself to Amit, Josh, and I, and our intern John. And he was basically like, "I love what you guys are building at Normal. I want to help." And then he basically told me all the skills he had, and I was like, "I just met one of the smartest people in the world. Like, this is so cool." And it's such an honor to be building with you, Jay. So it's been about a year anniversary of you making crypto normal with us. And for those of you that don't know, he started off as a full stack engineer, and then because of his amazing leadership and huge impact with his smart contract work that Josh can talk a lot more about, we had to make a key decision and promote him to CTO to really make crypto normal on chain, on Stellar, and get us to all those high volume points that we're going to do in 2026. So, Josh and Jay, do you guys kind of want to dive into the technical leadership that Jay has really spearheaded for us?
Yeah, I'd love to, and I'll let Jay take it. But I just real quick, I remember when I first met Jay, I was DJing at the party at ETH Denver, and we were trying to talk about like code and stuff, and the music was going, and it was so hard to actually have a good conversation. But we were thankfully able to stay in touch over the next couple months, and yeah, I've just been really impressed with your leadership, Jay, and your ability kind of like across the board with our tech stack. And so I'm curious to learn more and to share with the listeners kind of like what your experience with crypto has been, and what your different passions within the software space are.
Yeah. So I actually got into crypto at a very interesting time. So that was 2021, 2020, especially when everything was booming. And I have built at various hackathons, like, various ETH global hackathons, ETH India, ETH London, ETH New York, etc. And, that actually made my interest more and more deeper into this. Like, you know what? there are some cool tech already existing, and on top of that infra, I can build a lot of cool stuff as well. So that is where my real motivation began. And then I also worked for a couple of crypto companies back in India as well, and back in Dubai, and led the tech for them. So that experience really like made me confident enough that I could reach out to Normal and offer them a help that, hey, you know what, I can build infra, and let's collaborate and let's get this out together. So that is how my crypto journey has been over past 5 to 6 years.
That's incredible, Jay. And I guess like we kind of work on a lot of different stuff. We kind of dabble in both like front end, mobile development, web, like all kind of across the board, and we really bring everything together and to try to meet users where they're at. And I really enjoy being able to work kind of across those different mediums as well. But I'm curious, what's been one of your favorite things to work on in the past year within our team?
So the most important has been the Rust contracts that we have been working in, the Rust smart contracts on Stellar. So I think Stellar is designed in a beautiful way that on top of it, with the help of Rust, like the security of Rust, we could build scalable and extremely design efficient contracts. And along with that, the onboarding process that we have been like inventing ourselves within normal, like starting from creating a wallet, and everything happens with a single Google account, like single SSO. So I think these couple of things bind together. The experience that you are offering to the users is like completely normal, and hence I believe that that is the most beautiful part that I've been working on.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it's kind of been tricky that there are a ton of companies out there like Dynamic, Privy, like all these different authentication providers that are usually just plug and play. However, we've kind of run into a different experience because Stellar isn't a blockchain that's supported by those platforms just yet. And so we've kind of had to take a step back and redesign everything manually, which has taken a little bit more time. But I think you and I would both agree that it's really allowed us to customize the experience and fix things that maybe we wouldn't get from those providers and make it a lot more normal along the way. So that's been a really cool thing to work on together with you.
100% exactly.
Yeah, we really couldn't make crypto normal without you, Jay. And for any of you listening out there, being a developer or just getting into blockchain, like stick with it. You never know who you meet. Jay started his first hackathon, a handful of years ago, and then eight titles, eight championships at the hackathon. This guy has won. He's got a beautiful crown on his head. He's been amazing, and I would love to introduce someone who's been very helpful to you in our dev team, Niko. How you doing, Niko?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Justin.
It's amazing. And I really love the introductions for our team because they're so special and genuine. This one about Niko is particularly interesting. In 2024, I had my world championship for wrestling, and I was staying at my head coach's house out in Slovenia, in the village Ternisha, where Niko is from and his family. And I lived across the street from his grandma Bobinska, and she would make me the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She would knock on my door with plates of food, and I've never felt so loved and taken care of. And the Slovenian people are so amazing. I can't wait till all of you get to visit there and meet them some more if you haven't. But during that time, I was blessed to meet Niko, this amazing person, and I knew he was so smart. He was getting his degree in university for engineering, and the questions he was asking me about crypto were so smart and so, pushback. It was amazing. So, Niko, tell us about the story of how you really started working at Normal, how we met, and then kind of how you joined the team later in 2025 around the same time Jay did.
Yeah, sure. My grandma really is a sweetheart like that. And after that, whenever I visited her, she would always tell me to say hello to you and ask you how you are. But anyways, yeah, so my name is Niko. I graduated in computer science from University of Maribor in Slovenia. After that, I started developing websites for local businesses, and eventually I got on some interesting projects like working for Reloom.io, where I helped convert Figma designs into React code. And then I also contributed to one of the largest shadcn libraries called shadcn blocks, where I worked on designing and developing templates for SaaS websites. So we're going to make the normal app look amazing in 2026. So yeah, after my collaboration with Reloom, we were already talking and contributed with some GIFs for the Discord server. And then eventually, as you were looking for a front-end developer, I decided to introduce myself to Joshua, and that's kind of how we started working.
Yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you, Niko. And I remember, I think when we first started working together and brought you on, our app looked very different than it does today. It looked like miles behind where it is now. And I remember the kind of first project that we worked on and collaborated on was basically redesigning the entirety of normal. And you just knocked it out of the park completely with your Figma designs. Super clean, scalable, proportionate designs that really, a really fast pace. And not to mention the addition of all the animations and custom graphics that you did as well. So I'm curious of like all the work and like designs that you've done with normal, what's kind of been your favorite part along that? And like what are some things that you'd like to do in the future that you haven't maybe had time for yet?
Yeah, sure. So I really like the responsibility I have here. So I get information of features we want to implement into normal app. So then my job is to put this into a Figma design, and then I'm also responsible for converting that into our code.
Yeah, I would like to talk about that a little bit. As we launched in January, it was pretty chaotic. I'm sure you guys all felt that between all the kind of onboarding bugs and little fixes we wanted to make our app smoother. Niko and Jay and Josh have been just the power team working, I don't know, 14-hour work days with the different time zones. Our dev team is working 24/7. And what's really cool, if you go to normalfinance.io, you can click the feedback tab at the top and it'll submit that feedback straight to our dev team. They'll see it, they'll prioritize it, and then whether it's more of a support issue and kind of troubleshoot, Josh and Jay will fix that right away, be in touch with you, make sure your funds are safe. And then Niko will start improving that design to make crypto more normal. And I kind of want you three to talk about how nice it has been to have three devs on the team to be able to support the mission all together as one.
Yeah, I can dive into that first because normal is basically 4 years old at this point, and Justin, you and I remember back in the days it was pretty much just you and I and Jake, our creative director, and so as technical co-founder, I was pretty much the only one responsible for building out our products, which was a huge honor and also a huge burden at the end of the day, just as things moved a lot more quickly. And so we went through, I think we probably hired two or three different developers over those first couple of years that really just didn't work out. It was, my first experience hiring and first experience managing a dev team, and had some prior experience at my past company. But really, where the metal meets the road is where you learn the most. And so, really meeting both Niko and Jay through Justin's, social networking and all of our events has been a huge blessing. And it's taught me how to delegate and also kind of like write better documentation for sharing tickets and things. But at the end of the day, we would be light years behind if it was just the two of us. And so I'm super grateful, always grateful eternally for your guys' help because we're able to move so much faster, and it's honestly just a lot more fun doing it together. Being able to bring these ideas from everyone, each corner of the world is truly so special.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jay, Niko, you guys are such talented and successful men from different come ups. I would kind of want the audience to hear some advice you guys have. Take a second to think, but if you could tell yourself some advice 5 years ago when you just started your crypto journey, your software journey, what would you tell your younger self to make life easier, to find opportunities better, and really just live a more normal life?
Yeah, so like I'd like to just give one advice that comes on top of my head is keep networking. Development skills are as important as networking skills. You never know who you meet along the way and how that will shape your path. Because as you mentioned, Justin, like you and I and Josh met in an after party at Eat Denver. Yeah, that was like a butterfly effect. So that is the first thing. And second, like keep on building, keep on shipping. You learn every single new thing every single day. So just keep at it, keep talking to people. It will keep on unfolding.
Wow. Well said. That's some great wisdom from our CTO himself. Thank you so much, Jay. Niko, did you have some advice you'd like to share?
Yeah, I agree with Jay about the networking part. I would add to maybe take risks and also don't be afraid of new technology like AI. Try to use it, learn it. It's going to benefit you a lot.
Wow. Awesome. and Jay, Josh, feel free to chime in. But I would say going to events because events cost money. It takes a lot of time, and you can only be at one event that day. So if there's multiple events going on, it matters where you go and how genuine that event is. So I know meeting you at the Beach Wrestling World Series in Croatia, that special event, and then meeting Jay at ETH Denver, I think that is one of the best ways to kind of build your future in crypto. And I think this is a great time to kind of segue in our giant thanks to the Stellar Development Foundation and the entire Stellar ecosystem. We've really loved making crypto normal better on Stellar. And we're super excited for Meridian this October 21st on Joshua Blue's birthday, Abu Dhabi. The normal team will be out there excited to celebrate the great growth and success we have all 2026.
I want to get one more thing in before we go. We've got a lot of really exciting updates coming to the platform, and so I want to just maybe give a couple teasers. So, Jay, do you want to talk about maybe one or two things that we'll have coming out in the next couple of weeks for people to look forward to?
Yeah, sure. So you are going to have a completely revamped onboarding experience. You will be able to play around more with your normal wallets now, and you will see the speed of your transactions and the security of your transactions is going to go like 10x. So these two things is something that I want to just drop in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Nico's been cooking up a whole new redesigned earn page where you can get the best yield on your USDC. You can also provide liquidity to our platform with I would say some pretty competitive rates that you can't find many other places. So we're definitely working hard to keep the platform as best for you guys as possible.
Thank you guys so much for those valuable updates. Jay, Niko, thank you guys for being the best special guests for the Normal Dev Team, episode 3, Normal Talks. Josh, thank you so much for co-hosting. And reach out to us if you guys have any messages, integrations, or any ideas or questions you have. And we can't wait to hear from you. G Norm, G Norm.